Good morning, everyone. I welcome all of you as a participant of this webinar organized by SSR College of ASC Silvassa, Veer Vajakar ASC College Funde, and Eco Support Private Limited Thane. They have jointly organized this webinar for on occasion of World Environmental Day. Before we start with our today's lecture or today's webinar, I would like to give or convey best wishes from my side about World Environmental Day that is falling on 5th of June every year. Participants, we enjoy this day every year whenever this World Environmental Day fall on 5th June. We go out, we plant trees on this occasion, we celebrate Environmental Day in a very different manner in colleges, in schools, as well as in NGOs. They do it in a different way to aware the people about environment, about environmental awareness, and several awareness programs are conducted. In a similar manner, this year we will celebrate this online because of COVID-19 pandemic. Let us talk about today's lecture. I will deal with wetland birds today. My name is Dr. Rahul Patil. I am working as assistant professor in zoology, Veer Vajakar ASC College Funde. Since 10 years, I am working on wetland birds. We must know what is wetland birds. So let us see the overview of this particular video. What are wetlands? Why to monitor wetland birds? How to identify birds? What is exactly birding? How you can enjoy it? And specifically birds of Uran Tehsil, where I do live, where my college resides. So almost in my backyard there are several birds, and I do watch them regularly. I enjoy watching them, and I also study with zoology point of view. So what is wetlands? Wetlands are the surface waters that comes on the stream or come out of the streams nearby them, rivers, lakes, ponds and oceans. So wherever you find water near all these resources, you can see this area or this surface is completely covered by the water or partially covered by water, where you may find some creatures. The water in wetland is either fresh water or brackish water or completely salt water also. So it is not necessarily that all the time wetlands should be near the sea or oceans. It may be found near ponds or big lakes. The wetlands are also behind the big dams, where the backwater of the dam is there. So what these wetlands are mean for, or what is the importance of the wetlands? Wetlands protect our shores from wave action, because whenever there is a heavy storms, heavy cyclones come from seas or oceans, at that time our area or the human properties is been saved or protected by the wave action, because at the terminal end, at the shores, there are several mangroves which are present near this wetlands, and these heavily grown mangroves they do uh, protect from this heavy wave action, because all these seriously developed waves have been subsidized at the level of mangroves. It reduces the impact of floods, absorb pollutants, as well as improve the water quality. So wetlands is also helping us in purifying the things. It also provide habitat for animals and plants. Here exactly our part is there, or we are more interested in. That means animals and plants, they do survive in this habitat effectively. They may contain a wide diversity of the life and supporting plants and animals, because so many plants and so many animals do reproduce in this wetlands. They feed on it, they roost on it, as well as they uh, develop their nestings in this wetland. There are specific animals or specific plants they present in the wetlands, because in vegetation as well as on the land territory we may find some other animals, but in wetlands there are specific animals and plants. You can see in this picture, it's a long wetland. It's a wetland near shore, near Arabian shore, and it has been covered with the water. In the summer season it get dries up, but with the tide, with every tide, it again covered up, and the feeding availability or the food availability is made available for animals, as well as the area is also made available for plants to grow, or the submerged plants to grow inside. Okay, let us talk about the birding, because so many people they are interested in birding. That means bird watching. It is one of the hobby developed these days in youth as well as in children, and some old people they are also interested in birding or going for bird watching. But the problem is they don't know how to watch birds, they don't know how to identify birds. As well as there are two different types of birdings. One is in the vegetation and other is in the wetland. That means when you go in the jungle or in the forest, in the heavily developed forest, we can say a rainforest, where you can listen to birds. You can listen to the birds, but very rarely you can see birds in heavy vegetation or in a green vegetation, but you can listen them very uh, easily, very easily, but it is difficult to see them. But seeing any animal or seeing any bird or any organism is a very interesting one. That's why I have chosen the area of wetland, where you can see wetlands are the area where they are open. In this first picture you can see some birds are sitting over here, and these birds can be easily watched by any person from a long distance. You need not to go near them, they are available here also. You can see they are available very easily for you. Just you need a good sense of sight, or you must have a binocular of good quality to watch them from a long distance. And they continue their activities, they don't even bother about you, they continue their routine practices, because they are quite long from the long distance from you. You cannot able to enter in the inside the wetland. It is very difficult to go inside for human being especially, because there is a lot of dirt, lot of soil and water, and you may stuck inside, so it is very difficult to go inside. That's why birds are also feeling safe that they are present in the wetland and human activity is not there, or human unable to reach up to them, right? So in this first diagram, in the second diagram, you can see one bird is sitting on the perch of tree, and it is in the vegetation. As this photograph is taken by me very with the uh, camera that is having good magnifying power, that's why I could able to catch this animal or this bird from a long distance. Otherwise I would have not able to see even in the trees. So it's a difficult task to see in the vegetation. Obviously both type of birding is very fascinating. It is attracting to my kind of person, those who are interested in birds. But you may begin with the wetlands. It is easier one. So let us see how to do this birding, how the people can made interesting or made this bird watching activity interesting, right? Next one, this is a bird identification slide where you can see a bird which is given by several titles, or you can say parts of its body is shown there. So birds are typically identified by some specific recognitions like calls. When you listen calls, so their sound, calls is nothing but sound, they call each other, either they're male or female, they call each other. At that time you listen them. By listening them you can identify birds. By practicing it you can easily identify them. The second one, looking at their colors. When you see clearly a bird sitting on the tree, at that time you can see the color of the bird. That means what type of feather it has on the wing, what color of the bird is there on the wing, what is the color on the crown or at the top of the head, how its throat is, how its belly is, and how its tail. So color appearance on the plumage, you can identify birds very easily. Then next one is markings, specific markings. Markings like eyebrow, for example, we have eyebrow. Similarly this bird is also having eyebrow. This is a white strip you can see at just above the eye. That is the strip is the identification mark of the bird. We can also mark the belly. See here, some strips are also found on the belly. White throat is there. This is also a kind of mark for identification. Then beak, size of the beak, whether it is a pointed, it is blunt, it is a short, it is a long, it is a hooked one. So there are different types of markings you can understand, and accordingly you can identify the bird. The physical features like feet, beaks, as I told you just a few 1 minute back, beaks, the neck, position of the landscape, that means where exactly it is located, it is sitting. So all these points are responsible for identification. Once you practice it, you can easily identify birds. We will see some live or identification marks during our further slides in the form of pictures as well as in the form of videos.